Morning everybody, I hope you're all well. Well, the big question I've been getting over the last probably 8 to 10 weeks is when is the right time to invest? And as I've put on there, is now that time? So I do apologise firstly, I have been off air for a little bit. We've been absolutely inundated and flat out. It's a very, very sort of, I guess, strange market at the moment, but an extremely strong market in Queensland. So I'm going to talk to you about that and how that's influenced my decision process. So I think the last time I probably chatted was about 6 weeks ago, probably even longer, maybe 8 weeks ago. And at that time I've been dealing with a lot of clients, but we've sort of been almost at that hold strategy. We're a little bit unsure as to what the market was, looking like doing or where it was heading over the next few months. So for a lot of them, I sort of said, let's just sit and hold. We're investors. We don't need to be aggressive. We can, bide our time and just see what happens. Well, hasn't the market changed, especially in the last 4 weeks? And I'm going to go through, I've got a couple of points here that basically highlight why now is definitely the time to be looking at getting into the market. So the first point that we've noticed as a huge shift in the local market here in Queensland has been land sales. Now, over probably, I reckon, since they announced almost the home builder grant about probably 2 months ago, land sales have gone absolutely crazy and it's near impossible to get a block of land. If you can get a block, you'll definitely not probably get something that's registered. You really are looking out, probably 3 to 4 months in advance where you've got to actually grab your land now to being able to secure it, so then you can obviously access to build on it in 4 months' time. We haven't really seen a market like this for a long time, so it is, extremely tight. And I'm going to talk in a minute about what's driving that. The second point that I wanted to talk to you about is the rental demand. So from our point of view, we manage, hundreds of properties. We've got quite a few staff that look after them. And probably in the last 4 weeks, the market just turned almost overnight. It went from the usual, 3 or 4 applications per property and a fairly steady, strong market to absolutely insane. We've got, probably 15 to 20 groups of people wanting to view properties. At the end of the viewing, we've got people handing over letters. I mean, there was a poor gentleman the other day that handed us a letter with a bit of a story about his life and where he's at and what's happening. And, and he's basically pleading with us to say, hey, can we, recommend that he goes into the property. Now, as most of you know, at the end of the day, it's not our decision. We process all the applications and we put them to the landlord. So it's ultimately the landlord's decision as to who goes in. So we're getting, instances like that. We're also getting instances where people are offering increased rent or large lump sums up front to try and secure properties. So the rental market has changed, and it was literally overnight. I think we finished on a Friday and it was normal. We came in on a Monday morning and it was going insane. So they're the two areas that we've seen a massive shift in the market here. The big driver, and we have been sort of chatting with a lot of, tenants that are applying and people that are looking at purchasing. And what we're finding is that there is a lot of interstate migration. And I think that's based on the fact that, places like Victoria and New South Wales at the moment, people are fed up. If they've got any connection in Queensland, whether it be family, whether it be business, a lot of them are saying, you know what, bugger it, we're leaving Victoria, they're coming here, they're quarantining for their 14 days, and they're literally then initially probably looking like going into a rental. So our rental market is just absolutely saturated and we just don't have enough product to supply for the amount of people that are here. One of the questions I had out of that is, okay, well, how long is this going to last? But we're doing more and more research, by chatting to people as to what they're doing. And I tell you what, there's a massive percentage that are not going to go back, interstate. They are moving here and they're setting up their businesses here rather than running their businesses in, say, Victoria or New South Wales. So this may be a very long-term thing and it may mean a very, very, good thing for the Queensland economy over the next few years. So that change in where we're at the moment and those 2 points and basically the grounds for why this is happening is pretty much why I've sort of changed my sentiment now and said, if you're an investor and you're looking to purchase, now is definitely the time. We've got record low interest rates. We've got not only a state that is probably in demand because people want to be here, but realistically, globally, our country is probably going to be in demand to foreign investment. So when the borders do start to open and things start to ease, I think we're going to find that Australia is going to be a very popular location for foreign investment. So it's looking very positive over the next, probably short term, say, 5 years. And for all of those that do know me, I tend to be very much more a long-term type strategist. So I would be advising, a 15 to 20 year window, but certainly right now is definitely a very good time to be looking at getting into the market. So on that note, I do have a pretty full calendar over the next week or so, but if you are looking at trying to get into the market, now is the time to start those questions. So if you're unsure about, what you can afford, how you're going to structure it, what it's going to cost to hold on to, then I would say definitely your first point of call is to jump on one of our webinars. We've got one tonight, today's date being the 8th of September 2020. So there's a webinar tonight at 7 p.m. We've got a fairly big turnout there, but I do still have availability. So if you do want to join in on that, jump on and register. I'll put a link on the site there so that you can have click on that and come and register. Would love to see you there. During the webinar, I basically give you some general knowledge stuff. It's, about offsets, redraws, deposit levels, and just some really sort of nuts information that will really help you out in terms of, your structure. And from there, we can then book a one-on-one session to have a look at your specific circumstances and what you're trying to do. So, that we can assess whether property is the right thing to do. And if it is, then certainly now's the market to be, looking and doing that. We also have a chat about, buying existing versus buying, land and building. We talk about the stamp duty implications of that. So there's a heap of questions and there is no, right or wrong answer in all of that. For our defence clients, there's DOHAS versus RA, which way is the better way to go. There's definitely a financial way to go, but it doesn't always mean it's the best way to go for you as my client. So, so that's my update. Apologies, I've been, missing for quite a while. It has been rather busy. Love to see you tonight, 8th of September 2020 at 7 p.m. Just registered, we'll send you a link and you'll be able to click on that link and join in the webinar tonight where we can, you'll basically hear me, talking about all those topics that I just mentioned, but there is a chat facility in there as well that you'll be able to then type in questions and we can interact that way. So, so if you've got any questions, please feel free to, either direct message me or contact me via email. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. For those in Victoria, not long now and you'll be out of everything hopefully and back to, a bit more of a normal. And enjoy your day and have a great week. And hopefully we'll catch up soon. Cheers, guys.